So, hi, checking in, and today is actually day 11 post-op from my cervical anterior foraminotomy. Wow, my dog. See? Hi, dog. You gotta be so nosy. He's trying to get on my lap. You need to go lay down and mind your own business. So yeah, it's 11 days post-op. No, or I think it actually might be 12 days. Anyways. Okay, so it is 12, and the past 2 days have been extremely rough. 2 days ago, I slept basically the entire day. I didn't wake up until 4:45 in the afternoon, and was up briefly and just stayed curled up on the couch and barely was awake. I was extremely stiff up like through this area and like between my shoulder blades, and had just a slight headache, but I just didn't feel good at all. Leading up to it, I had been feeling so much better. I was able to move around more and pain was less. Really wasn't napping at all, but I still was going to bed early, like as in 6:30 or something like that. So, but still, that was progress for me. So then yesterday, I was asleep on and off. I would say I was asleep maybe like sporadically, like maybe I'd be awake for an hour and then sleep for 2 hours, something like that. And then in the evening, I thought I was feeling feverish, so I did take my temperature and had a fever between 101 and 102 for a while until it was time for me to take my next dose of Percocets. And shortly after I took the Percocets and my fever did come down. And during the time that my temperature was elevated, I did call to the hospital where the surgery was performed, and he just told me to keep an eye on it, and if it was still up after I took the Percocets, that I should be seen in the emergency room since it was so late at night and my doctor would not be available at that time. Like I mentioned, my temperature did go back down to normal, so I didn't call back to the hospital or anything. 4 in the morning, I was awake, had a horrible headache, and also had an elevated temperature, but this time it was only like 100. So, went back to bed eventually and ended up calling my doctor early today, when I noticed that my fever was back up again. And also I waited to call them until after I was getting ready to take a shower, because what happened was I took off the gauze pad that's covering the incision. After I took off the gauze, I felt something just like streaming down my back, so I used a mirror and looked at my back in the mirrors, and it was pus just streaming down my back. There was a couple of different streams, whatever, just pouring out of my incision site. It was really nasty, and like I think maybe I said this in the last video, I think, but my incision site's like it's like this big, I think. So the bottom portion of the incision was just covered in green pus. It was a lovely sight. So because of the fever and the green pus, the surgeon wanted me to come in, so I went in, and he was pretty awesome when he just took the pussy area and just squeezed it like a person might squeeze a splinter out or whatever. Oh my god, it hurt like hell. He didn't give me any warning. He also took all the steri strips and just started yanking those off. He's awesome. So I no longer have any steri strips, and as of earlier today, I shouldn't have any pus buildup in the incision site. So now I'm on a 7-day antibiotic. I take it 3 times a day. Theory is in 7 days, it'll be all cleared up. Fingers crossed, because if for some reason it's not cleared up from those antibiotics, then he's going to have to open up the incision site and clean it out. And that sounds absolutely disgusting. Some other things that's going on right now. I mentioned earlier that everything just feels super, super tight. My left hand is the one that's impacted from the car accident. I have paralysis, but because of all the issues that I'm having right now from the infection back there, my right side is a mess. It hurts. I can lift up my arm, but not without pain, and I did not have that previously, before the infection. So waiting for the antibiotics to kick in so that I can hopefully find relief in just a few days. I think that's all I got. So just to recap, I have day 12 post-op. I have pus, infection, and increased pain. I will check back in a couple of days.